It was a moment that no one expected, but everyone now remembers when Coldplay's frontman Chris Martin, known for his eloquence and discerning artistic vision, publicly expressed admiration for BTS's Jin. The revelation came after Jin's spellbinding solo performance during his encore concert in Incheon, a night that marked not only the culmination of his first world tour, but a turning point in global solo stardom. Martin, who had previously collaborated with BTS on the historic track My Universe, did not hold back his awe. According to insiders present during the post-event gathering that included international guests and creative professionals, Martin was seen speaking passionately about Jin's performance. "There's something about the way he stands there, not demanding attention but drawing it anyway," Martin reportedly said. "It's like watching poetry in motion and then he sings, and you realize his voice carries not just melody but memory, pain, warmth, and hope all at once." Jin's performance that night included tracks from his chart-breaking EP Echo and his emotional debut solo album Happy. Yet it wasn't just the music that stole the show, it was the way Jin carried the stage, the way his expressions mirrored the emotions of his lyrics, and how the soft gleam of stage lights danced across his crimson Gucci ensemble, making him look like a sculpture come to life. Chris Martin, who is known to be meticulous and deeply emotional when it comes to vocal delivery and live performance, reportedly confessed that Jin's voice reminded him of a younger, more vulnerable Freddie Mercury, blending vulnerability with precision. "He has that thing. Not all singers have it. He sings like he's remembering something you've never lived, and yet you feel it. That's rare," Martin added, his tone filled with the kind of admiration few artists receive from their peers. This praise has sparked a wave of global media attention. American entertainment outlets like Rolling Stone, Billboard, and Pitchfork have highlighted Martin's remarks, leading to headlines praising Jin as the silent thunder of K-pop, and the voice that even Coldplay reveres. Jin's performance is now being talked about not just as a successful concert, but a cultural moment that bridged continents. Social media erupted soon after clips of Martin watching the performance backstage went viral. Armies across the globe praised the cross-genre respect and began sharing dream scenarios of a Jin x Chris Martin acoustic duet. "Imagine them singing something like Fix You together," one tweet read, which alone garnered over 1.2 million likes within hours. Jin's emotional connection with Coldplay dates back to BTS's collaboration with the band on My Universe, a song that symbolized unity across language, identity, and musical genre. But what makes this recent moment even more special is that it's not about collaboration, it's about recognition. Chris Martin saw Jin not as a fellow project partner, but as an artist with his own universe to offer. In his closing statement during the after-show reception, Martin was overheard saying, "If Jin ever releases an acoustic live album, I want to be the first to hear it. That voice deserves to echo in every corner of the world." With a voice that has already captured millions, and now the heart of one of modern rock's most celebrated vocalists, Jin's star is not just rising, it's soaring beyond the realms of pop and into something timeless. As the world eagerly awaits Jin's next artistic endeavor, one thing is clear. When legends praise you, you're no longer a star in the making, you're already legendary. The impact of Chris Martin's words extended far beyond fan circles. Several global news outlets began drawing comparisons between Jin's current trajectory and other iconic solo debuts in the music industry. Entertainment Weekly described the moment as a crossroad in modern pop history, where East meets West not in collaboration but in reverence. Meanwhile, Variety ran a headline that read, "Chris Martin bows to Jin BTS, the solo artist who shook the world without a word." For Jin, who has always been modest about his talent, this unexpected praise became a moment of quiet validation. Though he did not immediately comment on Martin's words, fans noticed that during the encore concert's final bow, Jin looked visibly moved, pausing for a moment longer than usual as the crowd chanted his name. Some armies believe he may have spotted Martin in the VIP section, smiling back at him, a moment now immortalized in thousands of fan-taken photos circulating online. Backstage, members of the production team described Jin's demeanor as both focused and deeply emotional. "He was glowing," one stage crew member shared. "Not just because of the performance, but because he could feel the respect in the room. When someone like Chris Martin praises you, it's not just validation, it's a global passing of the torch." This cultural resonance didn't go unnoticed by luxury brands either. Gucci, whom Jin represents as their top brand ambassador, released an exclusive behind-the-scenes clip the next day, showing Jin in his deep crimson ensemble, silently preparing before walking into the spotlight. The caption read, "Elegance, emotion, eternity." Jin. That post alone broke Gucci's 2025 engagement record within 24 hours. Fred Jewelry followed suit, reposting clips of Jin from his photo shoot with the quote from Martin embedded in the caption. A voice that deserves to echo in every corner of the world. Even Spur magazine, which is set to feature Jin on the cover of their January 2026 issue, teased a special edition titled "The Performer That Stunned Coldplay." ARMYs began trending hashtags like #ChrisLovesJin, #Jin the Global Standard, and #Coldplay X Jin on X, formerly Twitter, with fan art and mashups flooding every corner of the internet. Many started a petition calling for a Jin and Chris Martin duet to be recorded live at Wembley or Madison Square Garden, both venues where BTS has previously made history. Music critics have since begun re-evaluating Jin's solo discography through a new lens. His debut album Happy and follow-up Echo are being praised not just for their lyrical sensitivity, but for their subtle orchestration and emotional storytelling. "He doesn't scream for attention," wrote one Pitchfork contributor. "He whispers truths loud enough to shake you." Chris Martin's admiration marks yet another chapter in Jin's evolving global narrative. From the quiet, third oldest of BTS, often known for his humor and visuals, to an artist recognized by icons for the depth of his voice and soul. And while Jin has always credited the group for his foundation, it's becoming increasingly clear. The world is now ready to embrace him, not only as BTS's Jin, but as Jin the artist. As fans continue to dream of a future collaboration between Coldplay and Jin, one thing is certain: this was not just a compliment. It was a spotlight, a passing of artistic acknowledgement from one legend to another. And somewhere in the silence between melodies, Chris Martin saw what ARMYs have known all along. Jin is not just a singer. He's a story, a storm, and a sunrise all wrapped in one breathtaking performance. Behind the headlines, something deeper was unfolding, not just a compliment, but a moment of shared legacy. Chris Martin's words didn't merely spotlight Jin's voice, they bridged continents, genres, and generations. In interviews following the event, Martin elaborated, saying, "You can hear someone's whole life in their voice. Jin's singing. It doesn't just sound beautiful, it feels lived. That's rare." Those few words sent shockwaves through the global music industry. It wasn't the first time Martin praised a K-pop artist, but never before with this level of reverence. Music blogs speculated that a new Coldplay track might feature Jin's vocals, especially after Big Hit insiders hinted at a secret global collaboration coming in early 2026. Whether speculative or real, the possibility alone ignited a frenzy across platforms. Spotify reported a 48% spike in streams of Jin's songs in the 24 hours following Martin's praise. His most recent hit, Don't Say You Love Me, surged into the global top 10 again, months after its initial debut. Meanwhile, Jin's past Coldplay collaboration on My Universe began trending anew this time. Fans zoomed into vocal layers, wondering if Coldplay had always seen Jin's solo potential long before the world did. Even Apple Music issued a rare editorial spotlight titled, "Why Jin's Voice is This Generation's Healing Anthem," comparing his emotional style to Adele and Sam Smith, but with a softness uniquely Korean. Luxury brands began adjusting their campaigns in real time. Gucci's Paris team added a new tagline for their Winter 2025 campaign, "The Voice That Moves Fashion." Fred Jewelry followed up with a curated microsite showcasing Jin's photos alongside curated playlists of his music and Coldplay's classics titled "Light That Binds." It wasn't just brand synergy, it was cultural convergence. Across Seoul, massive LED screens replayed the encore concert footage featuring Jin, Jungkook, and J-Hope, but this time with overlays of Martin's quotes, proof that the moment wasn't just about spectacle, but artistic resonance. Back on social media, fans and celebrities alike joined the conversation. John Legend reposted the video with a simple caption, "Chris is right. That voice is something else." Meanwhile, Korean director Park Chan-wook commented on Instagram saying, "Jin's performance felt like cinema. The pacing, the pauses. He understands emotion like a storyteller." Inside the fandom, ARMYs began creating multi-language fanbooks, writing letters not just to Jin, but to Coldplay, expressing gratitude for recognizing the artistry they had loved for years. Petitions calling for a Coldplay X Jin stadium duet gained over 800,000 signatures within a week. Even Billboard dedicated an entire podcast episode titled, "From Visual to Vocal, Jin's Era Has Arrived." But amid the global whirlwind, Jin himself remained characteristically humble. In a brief Weverse post, he wrote, "I'm always thankful. Still learning. Still walking slowly. Thank you for listening." That single message, modest, grounding, emotional, reminded fans and critics alike why Jin resonates so deeply. He doesn't chase the spotlight. He lets it follow him quietly. And in that quiet, Chris Martin and the world heard something unforgettable. As the sun sets on 2025 and the music world gears up for another year of comebacks, collabs, and change, one truth rings louder than ever. Jin has become more than a K-pop idol. He is now a global voice, one that even legends like Chris Martin stop to admire. And perhaps, somewhere backstage, in a studio none of us can see yet, their duet is already beginning.